So let's take a look at our grid here today. We have, let's see, we're talking about Saturday, April 6, 2024, and we have a Byron Walden grid edited by Joel Fagliano. And let's go ahead and hop into this thing and see what we got. Is it going to be a killer Saturday? Sometimes they really are. Let's see. Going on, hopping on in here. I'll move this around a bit so we can see the time nicely. Okay, so we're going to start out with Vivacious, are we? Well, I don't know what that is at all. One-time treat with chocolate, cream, and vanilla cookies. That was some sort of... I don't know. I can't remember. Cinderella's calling card. Undercut. Winemaking sediment. Okay, this is Lee's. We've got the Lee's. Let's see. Thick envelope during admissions season. Say, well, that's going to be a yes or no, right? I mean, if it's a thick one, then they're sending you all the stuff to get you to go ahead and agree to and sign on the dotted line where you had been accepted to undergraduate, so, or grad school for that matter, or really, I guess good lord, it could be I guess it could be a prep school, some whatever. So I'm thinking this is a yes, because it would be a very thin lettered envelope if it were a no. We regret to inform you that you've been rejected. Okay, so Vivacious, something L-Y, of course. I mean, that just makes sense. Let's see, that just clicked. O-I-C, maybe? Is this a C? Cinderella's undercut. Can't they all just get along? Lands resoundingly. So maybe thuds? Thuds. And intend. 4 letters for intend. All I can come up with is hope. I intend to go to Harvard. I hope to go to Harvard. That kind of thing is what's crawling through my brain on this one. So, can't they all just get along? You know, I don't know what it is about this. I'm thinking, is this a G? Yeah, is this an S? Dodgers foes. Heard enough. Request to chat. Okay, so I think undercut, maybe the B side, because I keep thinking this is like bubbly or something. I'm trying to put bad in here for demerit, because one-time treat with chocolate cream and vanilla cookies. I mean, I think these are so I'll put the H here correctly. I'm trying to spell it out in my head what it was that I remember when I was maybe a kid. So Oreo. I guess that's singular, isn't it? One-time treat. Yes, so not one-time treats. So Oreos. And this is perhaps bubbly. I'm starting to think Vivacious is bubbly. What I was thinking at first was that it would be lively. But I see Vivacious being this thing. So that just clicked. It's either I see, or I see. I see sounds better because this puts bad in for me. Maybe. And can't they all just get along? Well, all I can think is doggies. Get along, little doggies. And Cinderella's calling card. Yes, ask my alma mater, Texas Christian University, how it felt to be Cinderella's a couple of years ago at the playoff game with Michigan. And then what happened after when we beat Michigan and went and got trounced in Georgia. So Dodgers foes for short are probably the IRS. And so this thing's a demerit is a bad thing, which seems kind of... do I have something? Oreo. Sorry, man, I tell you, I can fat finger sometimes, huh? Heard enough. Maybe need I say more? And what do we got here? Didn't shrink. Request to chat. Is this an S? Older companion. Film with the tagline in space. No one can hear you clean. I think that's Wall E. I saw that briefly, I think, once with the little ones. Deep shade of blue. Practices photodynamic therapy on is lasers. Older companion, older and wiser. Older, wiser, get it? So, or I should say older, wiser. Older, wiser, that would be right to left to me, left, right to you. Older, wiser. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's see if that fits, though. This seems a little easy. Request to chat, maybe got a sec. Got a sec. Didn't shrink. Book it. For some reason, I want to say we solved the case or something. Let's see. Didn't shrink. Dolled? No. London Dunderhead. Okay, we have an H here. Showstopper, maybe. Not clean in a way. Black Heart. I don't know. In London, I've heard it often said, but only with a kind of a Cockney accent. Nah, he's a real Hauser. He's a real Hauser. Hauser. Like Henry Akins. So, Hauser, same as in Canada, only in Canada they say, oh yeah, take off you, Hoser, eh? And so, gotta love it. Let's see, ideal for home theaters, showstopper. Ruckus is usually an ado if it's 3 letters. Of course, it could be a din. Afghan region whose name means black cave, and that's Tora Bora. And let's see, showstopper. Encouraging signs in the market. Upticks. That will be too short. Longtime name in Top 40 Radio. And now I want to say Casey Kasem. And we're back. And our first letter comes from John in Chicago. John writes, and Dear Casey. I'll leave it at that. Okay, so long time name, and I don't know, but maybe this is a hiatus. And that would give in Black Heart. So didn't shrink. I think this is going to be past tense, or past perfect tense, perhaps. So ideal for home theaters, maybe in HD, because I'm thinking this is going to be one of these, and these are the ones that I really hate. The Black Heart, the Heart of Black. It's a short A, maybe. It sure seems like it's going that way. Not clean in a way, maybe on dope. Seems very 80s to say. Azimuth is an arc. Anyone who navigates or flies or does these types of things will probably recognize that, and our lines of declination, depending on what true north is, etc. It's really an awful lot of fun stuff. You can get that, of course, in the United States Army. Oh boy. So these are maybe uptrends. Now I feel like we need to start checking the downs because I think it's getting a little too easy here. Many a 10 code user. I think this is a CBER, a CBer, 10-4, good buddy, 10 code. So I'm going to go with the CBer. And this looks like now Ryan Seacrest. And present for the approval of. Court order, don't know. Didgeridoo sound. Sounds like a drone to me. Let's see if it works. Blank table, maybe the craps table. I can't imagine how anybody could ever want to bet on dice. I mean, it's so random. Notably, circular formations on Mars. So if present for the approval of is run past, maybe. These could be dunes, because if they're not dunes, I'm thinking lakes. But Blank Van Rossum, programmer who created the Python language that is Guido. And I think which is a William form in Italian, I think. Because in French, William is Guillaume. Guillermo in Spanish. So, yeah, that's probably about right. Pieces of punditry are probably op-eds. I've written my fair share when I was once active in that nonsense. Philosophy profession is a credo. There was a time when I wanted to run for Congress. Like, I thought it would be the ultimate thing for a gentleman to do, represent a district, and nowadays it just seems like there's 3 or 4 folks there who just can't take it seriously, and they've kind of ruined it for everybody. I mean, it's like no longer something that you would want to aspire to. The last thing I want to do is be a congressman now. Book it. So I'm thinking didn't shrink is dared, all right? You know, so instead of like cowering, they puffed up there and court order. I would have thought something like, free throw or foul or something like a court, like maybe some tennis or basketball. But no, I think this is the royal court, and it's starting to kind of come together. And so the deep shade of blue, going back to our Spanish, lapis, and for a song, competitor on MasterChef, I don't know, because I think for a song is generally cheaply, hey man, what'd you get the car for a song? Eponymous Milwaukee brewer Frederick Pabst. There's no place that I'd rather be than right here with my Rednecks, White Sox, and Blue Ribbon beer. Pabst Blue Ribbon. I had one once. I ledged, but I somehow kept it down. Pictures where people are head scarfed. Off, maybe amiss. Sometimes that's askew, but I think Pabst and Lapis are pretty solidly in there. Take Me or Leave Me musical is Rent. And off. Death Be Not Proud for one. That is from John Donne. It's a sonnet. English majors unite. On tap. Oblique. Well, let's see. This may be Tsarists. And White Russians were Tsarists. Competitor on MasterChef. I guess this is a home cook. I've never seen an episode, but it seems like it's just coming together. That SK down here at the end, that's, I think that's skewed. So oblique is skewed. Presented with a ticket is to be cited. I'm feeling comfortable about it now. Something that many people share. Bearings are probably means. So many people share memes. I've shared one or two here or there. Q word, maybe now. You're on now. You're in the queue. You're on now. On tap, maybe to come. And high station. Okay, looks like we have eminence here, which is also how we greet Catholic cardinals. Your eminence. Bishops, your grace. Meet the Pope, your holiness. Your eminence. And I do believe this is also how some dukes and high aristocrats are also addressed on occasion. But typically speaking, I think they get the same as the bishops in your grace. Like His Grace the Duke of Marlborough. Option for claustrophobic patients. I'm assuming this is an open MRI. And what do we got here? Pictures where people are head scarfed. Okay, scarfed isn't scarfed down. These are obviously zombie movies. And now that is very clever. I've never seen a zombie movie. Don't plan on ever seeing one. But it is a genre that is real out there. And people love this crap. So all for it. If you're all into zombie movies and I should maybe watch one, then shoot me a message. Let me know which one I should watch to get myself hooked. Otherwise, I haven't imagined ever even thinking about it. Reserved. Book it. Reserved seat, maybe? Lead into location. So lead into location. Mallocation. Maybe dislocation. So they do that, right? But lead into location. You just got to think what prefix could go. We'll follow on to location. Whatever. Then think about what kind of suffix. Nothing to write home about. Looks like mediocre now. So mediocre. You can see when I'm doing this early, I'm like my head's at a whole different place. Mac, for example. One thing that a Mac can be is a raincoat. Again, English majors, unite. So here we go. 0 stars. Okay. You know what would fit here? It sucks. But I doubt very seriously that would be it sucks in the Saturday New York Times. So what do we got here? Cup alternative may be a pint. And that means 0 stars. It stunk, or no, because stunk would be too short. Maybe it stinks. You don't feel good about that either, so let's see what we got. Flowers that are a source of the anti-inflammatory drug colchicine, and I think those are crocus. It's the crocus plant, and I gotta remember how to make that plural. Maybe croce? No, I don't know. Recipient of the inaugural Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. Oh, I know that. I know this. Oh, gosh. Let's see. It's too short for a Comic-Con, but there's something going on with that. Check. Cold weather out where? It's an anorak? Stereotypical beatnik accessories. Well, this is funny. Berets. I hardly consider myself a beatnik. I think this is Pryor, Richard Pryor, which I think was a Y. And so, cup alternative. Yeah, this must be an anorak. Norak, and then check would be a tab, and I guess this is a gathering like Brickfest Live and formerly as a Toy Con, because maybe cup alternative is a cone. I really do not feel good about hitting this O at all, but let's go ahead and see how we did, Bob. Okay, well, not terrible. It had some really let's take a look here. Had some really I like doggies, right? Zaris was good. I rarely have ever seen that. I like the way Need I Say More just kind of fell in there. I like the Palace Guards because I was really thinking of some sort of court thing. Tora Bora was nice to see pop up, especially for those of us who might have served in and around that, in and or around the theater, though I spent all of my downrange time in either Africa or the Far East or 3 trips to Iraq. So it is what it is. Would have been nice if we could have gotten a Casey Kasem in here, but nevertheless, the zombie movies probably had to take the cake. I mean, it was just pretty good stuff. Brains, all I know about it, but I've never watched one, and so it's kind of like Doctor Who. If somebody would just tell me, like a real true fan would just tell me, hey, watching Doctor Who, you got to start with this series in this season and then go back, or whatever the formula is to make the most sense of it. Until I know that, or which zombie movie to watch first, I'm just probably not going to partake. Yeah, and be that as it may. Yes, but, if you recall from yesterday, don't ever stop trying to learn it in every language you possibly can. And just a smattering of a few, we'll just say Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, arrivederci, adios, aloha, ciao, shalom, masalama, annyeonghaseyo, tambiet, and see you next time. Just be careful out there and enjoy your neighbors, celebrate the diversity and all the different wonderful, beautiful things around you at all times. It's really good advice, I promise you. Cheers.